this morning, we're joined by a tall list of panelists. We're joined via Zoom by Dr. Asa Asante, who is a political scientist. And over here in the studio, of course, we're joined by Dr. James Kavanaugh Bonfa Jr. He's CEO of Census and also lectures at the University of Professional Studies here in Accra. And Tanko Rashid Computer is CEO of GFEC. Of course, he's the Deputy Director for Elections for the NDC. So we'll get all of their perspective. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me in studio. I hope you're well. Doc, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're well.
I haven't seen you in a while,
yes,
too.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. It would only be when I'm reading. Doc, I have a personal question. I was asking you, but I'm asking for everybody as well. How many cases do you have in the Supreme Court?
I gave you the answer, then I'll repeat
so there's quite a list, eh? Quite a tall one.
We can always have a conversation about it.
Okay. Well, this morning, Mr. Computer, I'll start with you. You have a lot of documents with you. We'll get into the documents here. But one of the stories, a lot of things happening, and I want to reiterate that first, the OSP deceived the public on the red reduction or notice on the Interpol website. His lawyers have been speaking. They said that the account by the OSP is not very accurate. We also know that there has been a petition to remove the OSP. Pastor Abraham Lincoln as well, lawyer Martin Pebu. Yesterday, that petition was received by Shamima, deputy spokesperson for the president, as well as the presidency yesterday. But as well, we also know that Shafiq Osman versus Wesley Girls, that has sparked a wide conversation about religious beliefs, human rights, and especially in our schools. We'll get into that. Another big one is Christian Yohuno gets 2 years extension. Let's start with the Christian Yohuno getting 2 years extension. And I'll start with you, Mr. Computer. So earlier this year, we saw that there was a clear communique that indicated that there was not going to be any form of extension for public service persons who have retired. What's different about this one?
Let me say good morning to you and your cherished viewers, as well as my good brother, Dr. Bonfe, and the good people of Panda, as well as Bimbila and Wulinsi. The same is strange. They are my good people, especially Panda. We wish them well. May God bless them. They are doing well. We'll come to that matter. You see, issue of extension is based on certain technicalities. We must look at the services the person is providing. Okay, the way the person is managing that aspect. It's not a broad-based thing, an open-ended issue. So when you talk of, when the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, made a statement that we are not going to go out and be extending people contract when they reach 60-year retirement age. It just means that it's a blanket statement. That was not the case. There were specifics, especially if you look at education sector. Remember, education minister came out and mentioned it. He is in the academia, he's a lecturer. There are critical areas like that. You don't just retire people because they are 60 years and other things. You need their services to, in fact, make sure that the young ones learn from their experience, see how to manage the process and how to handle it. I've been there before, so I know what I'm talking about. And he's here, he's in the seat, he's lecturing. So that aspect, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the Minister of Education, made it very clear. And because if we do that, we are going to retire experienced lecturers who have been in the seat and they are trying to nurture the young ones to come and take over from them. When you come to the security sector, it's a specialized area. The security sector is a specialized area. If you look at the way the current IGP handles himself, when he was appointed, in fact, don't forget, he was initially appointed as a deputy IGP in charge of operation, June 2024, by the then administration, MPP. They saw his experience as one of the best persons who could handle operations of the police. We came and upgraded him. So it means both political parties, the NDC MPP, saw the wisdom in that man, that the gentleman is good, he knows his job. So nobody raised a qualm. In fact, at the time he was appointed, we didn't raise a qualm. We didn't say anything. We were in opposition. We didn't say anything. Although We had issues with the timing of the appointment, going to elections from 6 months to election, and then you appointed a deputy IGP with specific tasks of operation to handle elections and all that. But we went through with him, professionalism, the way he handled the operations and everything was fantastic. The president saw that this was a man who placed Ghana above his own parochial interests and made sure that we had a very peaceful process and all that, although there were some small issues here and there. Now we went to, when he came in, we handled some 2 elections under his watch, Ablekuma North and Akotia. Look at how professionally he handled it, the whole thing.
Ablekuma North?
Yes.
Are you citing a different Ablekuma North?
Ablekuma North. I'm citing Ablekuma North. Had you not because of...
Ablekuma North has been one of the cardinal points of election violence.
MFA, are you reading from the hymn book of MPP Bible?
No, but I mean, in this country, we reported that my colleague was assaulted.
I said a media man who was assaulted, that policeman, that very day he was interdicted. That very day, that policeman was interdicted immediately before even the election could even end. The man was interdicted with a strong worded distance. And a serious apology came out from the presidency to the media person. That's how we protect the media.
The people who assaulted the NDC, there's an NPP executive member. I don't recall his name.
Are you talking of the assault of Hawa Kumsin?
Well, of course, she and then another person as well.
Look, Hawa Kumsin is walking freely. The people were arrested and sent to court. They were prosecuted in the court of competent jurisdiction. Under this IGP, he made sure that nobody could run away from justice. He made sure that he sent them to face justice, right? Hawa Kumsin is walking free.
Let's backtrack.
Hawa Kumsin, who came with dangerous weapon, pepper spray, to spray in the face of people.
Okay.
Today we are talking about. In fact, the man did very well. We went to Akotia. He did professionally. You saw the Akotia, how peaceful it went. We had a very lovely election. In fact, nothing happened there. And the verdict was very clear. So such a person with this experience he has gathered, the way he has handled himself. I met him in Tamale over the weekend. In fact, he came for their program, and I came in because of our court matter in Tamale. And
I'll come to Dr.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Dr. I'll come to you. Stay with me a little bit. Let me stay with you, Ms. Thanko.
Yes.
So it beats my mind. Why? Because in March, this was when the IGP was both appointed and as well sworn in as IGP. In April, the same government said that they were not even going to renew any form of, they were not going to do any form of extension. It's been how many months? You sit here and tell us that some sectors are specialized. On what grounds would this be?
MFA, go and read the statement. When the secretary to the president signed the letter, he didn't say any form of extension. He didn't state it. There was nothing like that in that statement. Read it and you'll see. He was very clear in his mind when he was signing that thing. And the decision was very clear. What we used to have is that you have sectorial, where you have managers, deputy managers, directors, chief directors, across. We're just giving a contract left and right, frustrating people progress in those areas. That is what we're looking at. But we're talking of critical areas like the security sector. And we're saying that this man has performed well. With the recommendation coming from the police council. The police council is made up of high-level experience.
Unless I have a different statement.
Yes.
Unless I have a different statement.
No, read that one.
But the statement I have here, which is dated the April 2nd, 2025, says that the grant of post-retirement contract appointments to retired public service staff has been suspended with immediate effect. 2. Consequently, all requests for such appointment will no longer be considered. 3. Kindly take note of this directive and ensure strict compliance.
Good. So you see that it's different from the initial one you were telling me.
How? Which
when
one?
You say all other type of.
But it is, yeah, consequently all requests.
You see, that is what I'm saying, it's a different one.
Which one?
If you look at that one, we are talking of the security sector, which came out from the police council. The police council is not only made up of NDC appointees there. That one we should be very clear now, man. It's a council, a whole gamut of experienced security couples sat down, look at the performance of the man, and things that, look, we still need his service.
Does this suggest that if any sector finds it needful and raises a good argument and advances a good argument, there'll be some form of extension?
It's a need-based aspect. It's a needs-based request.
Okay,
that's what we are looking at. That's what I'm saying. It's a need-based one. Then we follow through that one.
Okay, Dr. Bonfe, I'd like to hear from you.
It's interesting, but I believe that in building the nation, one of the key ingredients would be the need to be principled and stick to principle. And I believe that in politics, there's no shame in concession if your intentions and thoughts are genuine. Because human we are, and we don't know all the facts at all times. I want to put it on record that in discussing national issues, those in partisan fray should remember, and in this particular reference to my brother Tanko, we don't discuss national issues in the lenses or with the lenses of NDC and MPP solely. I don't belong to any of them, but I have a view on what we are having this morning to discuss. What is the issue? MFR, you did well. The letter is unambiguous, signed by the Secretary to the President. Now, I'll be interested in knowing who signed the letter of the extension. Have you seen it? The extension for Mr. Yohuno to continue in office on a contract base for an additional 2 years.
I'll pull that out for you shortly.
Yes, it will be interesting to know who signed it. But as you rightly did, the letter my big brother Callistus Mahama signed on April 2, 2025 was unambiguous. In paragraph 2, he says, consequently, all requests, he didn't say some. In fact, the subsequent explanation given by the Minister for Education, I think it was a tertiary staff fora, that he said that statement from the office of the president may be tampered with specific reference to lecturers in the universities who may have attained that. But that is to a specific sector of the economy or the nation, which is the education sector. In this reference, I don't think that the excuses that my brother Tanko was seeking to give here will apply. They will not. I'm also concerned about my brother, the Honorable Minister for the Interior, because he had a position on this matter about extending the term or the tenure of persons who reach the retirement age within the security service. I'm talking about the Member of Parliament for Asawase,
yes.
Honorable Muntaka Mubarak. So, for me, it is perhaps the government falling on its own dagger. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. If you want to go the argument of Rashid Tanko that, oh, Mr. Yohuno has done so much and we can't find his replacement now, so let him continue to be in office. But that is flying in the face of something we said some time ago ahead of elections and post-elections when President Mahama took office. We said ABCD, but now we think that, no, we would have to go back on those ways. Say so, and let's move on. This attitude that people in public office, we get the mic, we get the privilege to sign on green letters, and we think that we can take people for granted, must stop. It must stop, my brother. There's no point. What has been done, it flies in the face of what came from the highest office of the land, the office of the president. It's contrary to it. But if the president has a right to do that thing. It's not as if what the president is going to do is illegal. It doesn't run contrary to the constitution, and the president wants to do it. But he's only tied by or trapped by his own words. And let's say so. Cows are trapped after all by their horns, men by our words. So if your words have trapped you, then let's concede and make progress. For me, that will help in sanitizing our public space and win back the public trust and public confidence that when our leaders, our men and women in authority, when they say A, they mean A. And when they are unable to meet A for some reason, they will tell us that we have not been able to meet A for A, B, C, D, but this is the other way out. For me, it is what works.
Doc, before I go to Dr. Sasanti, the letter from the presidency, of course, is signed by the secretary to the president, Callistus Mahama. And I'll just read whether or not the content of that letter will suffice for you as a government who thinks that, well, it's not that you're doing anything illegal, but these are the reasons. Yeah. So it says that I write to inform you that following the recommendation of the Police Council and in accordance with the relevant provisions governing the administration of the Ghana Police Service, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic, has approved your re-engagement for an additional 2 years upon the attainment of the statutory retirement age in December 2025. Your re-engagement takes effect from 28th December 2025. During the period, you shall continue to serve as the Inspector General of Police and discharge the duties and responsibilities attached to the office. Now, the President's decision reflects the Council's firm condition that your continued leadership is essential to sustaining ongoing reforms, strengthening operational effectiveness, and ensuring stability within the Ghana Police Service at this critical period. You're kindly requested to indicate your acceptance of this re-engagement in writing with me 3 days upon receipt of this letter signed. The reason I see is
what is disappointing in this letter is that my big brother failed to make reference to this statement he issued. Yes. Okay. Because it would have made sense or it would have been more meaningful if he had made reference to this statement he signed, that notwithstanding what under the directives of the president are issued, we are doing A, B, C, D. Because if you look at the content of the letter he issued on April 2, 2025, the Police Council ought not to even have considered this matter that they are extending Mr. Yohuno's stay in office. They didn't have to consider, and that even if they erred in considering it and brought it to the attention of the office of the president, it would have been rejected. That's what the statement says in 3 paragraphs. So clearly, this is a fall on your own dagger. Okay. And I feel that we can do better than this.
Dr. Sasanti, good morning to you. Thank you for staying on. So, you have heard the position, you have heard Tanko Computer, you've also heard Dr. Bonfe. He says that he thinks the government is falling on its own dagger. What's your take?
Akosia, and then my colleagues in the studio, of course, our viewers and listeners. I think it's an interesting conversation in the sense that when you look at it carefully, it brings to sharp focus what one historian of the Oxford University said, that history is nothing but how we have arrived here from where we come from. That historian is called Hugh Trevor-Roper. Trevor-Roper's argument is that, look, you can't talk about history when you don't look at how you have arrived at your current destination. People are holding the government on because of earlier statements made. And if you check against today, then there is a contradiction. Obviously, people will raise qualms about it. So in politics, what is always important is that you need to be consistent and you should not be quick in taking certain decisions, more so when you put them out in a statement. It will be used as a guide to check on your conduct and your future statement. That said, because the whole argument is that extending public officers' position when they have gotten to their tenure if it is not legally wrong, there's nothing wrong about it. So in this case, there's nothing wrong by police, their, rules governing their office, that an officer of such a position can have his appointment extended. So if you have that, always when you are releasing something to that effect, you need to be very careful. So I believe that this one, yes, the president was not wrong, but earlier statement is what people are holding them to. So going forward, I believe that, they need to be consistent and need to be able to say that, yes, we said this, but we are sorry because we have done something different. We have seen it in government. President Kufuor said something. You remember he made an appointment where he didn't appoint anybody from Upper West. And then he said something to the effect that, I'm sorry, I couldn't get anybody there and all that. But later, the pressure was put on him. He went back to his statement and all that. It is not a crime to say sorry, that I miscalculated, I got it wrong, and that, because if you see Yohuno, his track record from both MPP and MPP, I have no doubt in my mind that he's a man of honor, a man of, integrity, and then he's professional in his work. So if the council deem it fit to extend his tenure, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you are making statements in public, you don't rush. You take your time, and then you do them carefully, because a day will come, people will make reference to this, and that you cannot fault anybody. So on this score, I think the government should be bold enough to say, I'm sorry, we erred, there's nothing wrong, then we move on.
Okay, back in studio, Mr. Computer, you've heard both doctors on this matter. So they have indicated that it's not illegal. I mean, you issued a statement. You're not bound by law. Nobody can take you on that. It's just your own words. And so do you at least have to make reference to that statement at all? Or you're expecting that the people of Ghana will make their own judgments?
No, of course, it's very clear. That's what I was telling you. It's very clear. These are critical sectors. And I was surprised Dr. Bonfe was trying to run away from the educational sector. It's the same thing. I don't know, doing public service, is the educational, I don't know, are you not providing public service?
Yeah.
Is that not what you are doing? You are lecturing our children and all that. Is that not public service?
Yes.
The police are also doing service. So when we think that these are critical sectors, that we have to vary the decision not to grant extension to public officers who attain the age of retirement, why do you think that one there looks okay for you?
Do you think that you owe us an explanation as a country?
Explanation? What kind of explanation? It's very clear. The man is doing the job.
No, we're not even assessing his performance yet.
Yeah, so what explanation
just
do you
holding
want from
government
us?
accountable by their words.
Oh, but that is what we're doing, of course. The government looked at it and said, look, we are not going to do that kind of thing they were doing.
What
Open up the floodgate for people to just come and request for extension.
But the statement didn't say that.
No, that is what the presidency is very clear in his mind, that he's acceding to the request from the council of the police council. Okay, they said that, and I told you the police council is not made up of politicians. And that's what Dr. Bonfe should be aware of.
Mr.
They are not made up of politicians.
These are couples who think that... The argument of the table this
Yes.
morning is not whether or not the police council has the power to recommend, or it's not whether or not the government has done something illegal. We're saying that we're following. You're carrying us along as a country and as a people. What you tell us, we do. In April, you said this. And so we're coming along with you. So for us as a country, we're surprised. Do you owe us an explanation? We're not asking whether it's illegal or not. Do you think you owe us an explanation?
I'm saying that. I don't know where we owe you an explanation or not. The letter is very clear. Look at the appointment. You read the appointment letter. I don't have a copy here. You have it. How you got it, and then you've read copiously on it. Is it not explanatory enough? I mean, it's there. It's explanatory. The reason, when I had read the whole thing, behind his given the 2-year contract extension, is there. It's upon a request from the police council. And I'm saying the police council, that aspect is a critical aspect. And for security area, we don't joke with that matter. It's our own internal security. It's our own lives. They are protecting us. They handle their internal security and all that. And if the wisdom of the police council haven't looked at the man performance over the period, thought it wiser, look, let's recommend him for additional 2 years.
Was it that he was on probation? Was it a surprise?
No, this is not a probation. The man was appointed.
No, do you know why? Because it's not the first time we're appointing an IGP. And of course, my little understanding of appointments, you'd have read the person's, what he's done so far, their CV and all of that. You know their age, you know when they're likely to retire. You could have predicted, you could have preempted that it's likely that in December, you likely would want to re-extend the engagements with him.
No, that's not the case. That's not the case.
Okay.
It's at the behest of the presidency. Okay, that authority lies in the hands of the president.
That's not questioning. We're not questioning
Yes,
that.
and so I'm saying that when he's satisfied with the recommendation, and he's sure that the recommendation coming is in the interest of the good people of Ghana, and for us to make sure that we can sleep well and get up and do our business, and I think that the gentleman in the seat is doing that, just that. Why not?
Okay, Doc,
Why not?
do you see what he says? He's making the argument that yes, we say something, but at least would you give the president and the country, the executive or the leaders of this country some leeway to say that, of course, we said something, but if we look deeper into it, we think that it's just okay to extend his engagement. We look at a few things. This is a critical area. If we want to start explaining everything to the country, I'm sure it would open the floodgates for a lot of explanation. But can you at least give that credit to the president that, well, based on this recommendation, it's good, I accept, I don't accept.
What,
Do you see
what
that
credit is there to give? Who forced the secretary to the president to issue the statement he issued without exception, without qualification?
He described it as it was a floodgate. It was
No, but I'm saying it's not about what he sits here to say. He has sat here and attributed to me things I haven't said. So we should take him because he is saying so. No, and we need to accord one another that decency of listening to what one says. Okay, the statement that you read, signed by Mr. Dr. Callistus Mahama, dated April 2, 2025, was unambiguous. It was clear that all, he didn't say except, he didn't give exemptions to this issue of extension of contracts. Did it? It did not. And I said that when the Minister for Education spoke subsequently, even that one, he didn't have a sanction from the office of the president. You didn't listen to that one. But at the end of the day, it was limited to some tertiary institutions, as the education minister said, which itself gives a contradiction to what the statement from the office of the president had come. That's my emphasis. And I'm saying that nobody forced this government to put out those issues.
Yeah.
And I made further statement that in politics, there's no shame in concession if our intentions are genuine. In other words, we can all make mistakes, we can get some things right, we can get some things wrong, and when we do get some things wrong, it is only fair that we say, oh, I didn't see, my professor, Dr. Asante, made reference to some incidents in the past. In fact, the particular reference that Papa John Adekunkufor said sorry about was the size of ministers, when he said that he was going to reduce the number of ministers. And it turned out that when he appointed his ministers, they were up. And he was asked at a meet the press. So he said, before I entered the presidency, I thought I could do with less. In the presidency, I think I may even need more. And that ended that matter. So for me, the emphasis is simple, that we need to be consistent with our communication. We need to be consistent with our intentions. And because we are human and we could get certain things wrong, we should also be humble to admit that maybe that statement was in a rush.
What's your general assessment of the performance?
The statement that Dr. Callistus Mahama issued in
currently
extending, yes, the extending the tenure of that statement should have captured his April 2nd statement that notwithstanding what the president instructed that we do, or the directive in April, there is an exception in this particular instance, and then the reasons that he gave can follow.
What are the consequences if he doesn't capture it?
Well, it wanes public trust.
Okay.
That, I mean, don't trust the politician. You've heard that said many a time. I sickening that you are a political person, you are a politician, and you go about and people say, you can't trust the politician. It's worrying.
Dr. Sasanti has given me his assessment of the IGP so far. What's your assessment?
I don't want to do, you see, I don't want to box up issues. We are not here assessing my good friend Christian Yohuno's tenure.
I mean, somebody
if I'd been his rise, I have known him, his performance when he was Greater Accra Regional Commander as a Commissioner of Police. That is not what I am here to do. I
mean, because he's been re-engaged,
please,
because he's been an IGP before.
MFA, let me say this. I don't want to convolute the issues. The specific issue at hand is the government falling on its own dagger. Okay. And yet, arrogantly, in the words of my brother Tanko sitting here, as if nothing has happened.
Bonfe, I disagree.
You think nothing has happened?
When you say government arrogantly...
Things that nothing has happened?
No, my brother. We cannot kowtow to that kind of the whims and caprices of people who think that we should reduce it. We are not arrogant. This government is the most peaceful government that is down to earth. We are not that type. Don't compare it to some group.
If somebody says that, no, I'm not comparing you to any group, please.
No, please.
I am okay. So wait, when it is your turn, when it's your turn.
No, but to use that term,
when it's your turn, you speak.
Please.
MFA, my point is very simple.
Okay.
Yes. I didn't force the hand of my big brother Callistus Mahama to sign what he signed in April of this year. I didn't force their hand to consider or allow a request from the police council to bring what they were even not supposed to have considered. I didn't force their hand.
Okay.
I didn't force their hand to do actually what the police council had asked them to do. They've done that. What I'm saying is that you're posturing this morning that nothing untoward had happened is what I'm describing as arrogant when it flies in the face of the very things said in the past.
Right.
I'm saying it seems that what has happened, you don't see it as contradictory, but they are. That's my position.
Dr. Bonfe, have we committed any crimes against the constitution of this country?
Did I say so?
No, but this you say
did I say so?
We are talking as if...
I said you are falling on your own words and you are saying I'm talking about... Did I refer to the constitution?
I am saying we haven't fallen on our own words. If you are reading the April letter verbatim and think that because of that letter, we shouldn't act outside anything that is written. You must look at the letter and spirit of that wording. You are looking at the letter. That's what you are looking at. But the spirit behind it, the spirit behind it is very clear. He knows it. The spirit behind that thing was to stop all type of manner of requests people will bring from all manner of agencies.
Okay.
That is the spirit. But when you come to look at the letter,
that is actually the letter, if I like to come with you.
I'm coming.
But now we have to go to the spirit because the all letter was on the letter.
That's the letter.
Yeah.
That's the letter.
The letter.
Cool.
The spirit behind that all.
It's what you
It's what I'm explaining. We're acting.
Okay. Are you Dr. Callistus Mahama?
Oh.
No, well, I mean, of course.
He's my big brother.
The government.
And a father as well. And
he's my big brother too.
So
what are you talking
adducing
about?
things to him that he has not in his mind.
Well,
thinking for him.
How?
That is not what he's thinking.
How? What did I think for him?
No, when you said that, at least you should make reference to that and bring out explanation to that. And I've said the letter he wrote, extending the man.
How does that become his thinking? It's my thinking.
So
why you say I'm impugning?
Doctor, you are impugning on him.
Imputing
and saying that the government is arrogantly. No, we are not.
It's your words. Don't extend it to anybody. You are sitting here and saying that nothing has happened. And I'm saying, if you are speaking for government, then that is an arrogant posture.
Doctor, you are telling...
To deny the fall on your dagger.
Something has happened wrong. Is that what you want me to say?
That's
and I'm saying we won't admit to you.
Tell
we
me
won't
the
fall in
spirit
that.
of the letter. That's what I'm interested in. What's the spirit of the letter? Let's move to the other issues.
Short. I'm saying that it was very clear when the Honorable Minister of Education mentioned about the educational sector, certain institutions, are you getting it?
Yes.
At the higher level, he was trying to bring us closer to the spirit behind that statement, which was issued in April.
Let us into that spirit.
And I'm saying that is why I'm saying that if you have critical sector like the security
sector,
you need certain caliber of persons with experience to handle that one because
That's
of our
not
lives.
in question. But do you hear Dr. Bonfe saying that? With what you're saying now, the government ought to have known before issuing that letter. However, if you didn't add that explanation, now you have issued a new letter. The previous letter and the previous intent should take expression in the new one. How is that difficult?
No, I'm saying that don't forget, the writer of that letter is an experienced academician and administrator.
It's not a doubt.
So when he's writing, he knows what he was putting in there.
But you see, he's speaking to us.
No, but you read the letter.
To us.
You read the letter.
He's speaking to us.
Yes.
He's seeking to communicate to us, right?
His letter is unambiguous.
Very clear, just
it's
like
very
the first
clear.
one.
And I'm saying just the one extending the mandate.
Yeah.
It's very clear, is that not?
Yes.
Verbatim.
Okay, so
as a request,
the explanation
president
suffices. Okay.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Look, we have never seen a humble government like this. The government so humble, listen to the people, and will not take the people for a ride.
Okay.
That's not the type of government we are running. We won't take you for a ride. We will come down and explain things to you. And this one, the president was magnanimous in that matter.
Okay.
Through his secretary, he said, he make rep. Look at the appointment. He put rep. He's making reference to something. If you look at the letter, I'm not sure my good brother has seen that letter. If you see that letter, he wouldn't be arguing the way he's done.
Okay.
He makes there was a reference to that water.
You sat here and said you haven't seen the letter.
No.
Now you are referring to.
He's read it. And we have seen.
Okay.
Read it.
Yes, stop contradicting yourself that way.
Let's go to the